Welcome back to the World Go channel. I'm your host and self-appointed Go evangelist, James Story. Today's lesson is lesson J4.4.1. The J is for Joseki. We're going to look at the 3-3 invasion of the 4-4 point. And this is when the 4-4 point doesn't have any other stones around it. So let's get to it here. This happens very frequently. In handicap games, there's always a star point, star stone. I mean, a stone on the star point on the 4-4 point, right? But even in even games, the players like to play the 4-4 point, the star point. So, so this is a very good Joseki to know. In fact, this is, I think, the first Joseki that you should learn. If you look in a book, they usually start with the 4-3 and then this 5-3 follow-up, but this is so common. I think this is a better Joseki to start with. It used to be that white did not invade here at the 3-3 point until black had what's called the double wing formation, until they had, maybe some stones on both sides of the board here, and here. And then it was thought a good idea to invade at the 3-3 point. But what we've seen with AlphaGo is it likes to do this before black even has a stone out here on one of the wings. It likes to just dive right into the corner and steal the corner from black. And it does it quite early, sometimes within the first 10 moves. So that's another good reason that you should learn both the white and the black sides of this Joseki. Black, this isn't covered a lot, but if black has a really great use for sente right now, they can play that. And if white then usually plays on one side or the other, and black then usually extends out one to gain liberty. Sometimes they do this. We're not going to go into these variations in this lesson, but definitely what you don't want to do is this, because white will be more than happy to bonk you on the head, right? You always want to hit on the head of 2 stones or the head of 3 stones. So that is one thing you don't want to do as black is play this. It's unreasonable. It gives your opponent the ability to really attack your stones kind of viciously very quickly. You'd rather play something like that. But anyway, what we're going to look at here is when black says, well, let's see, maybe I got a stone out here, so I want to block on this side, right? If black has stones on both sides, they want to block in the area, the side either here or here, here or here, where they can make the greatest amount of territory. So it's usually the side that has the biggest extension or the widest extension. So notice that between these stones there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and between these 2 black stones there's only 3. So black would probably block on this side. If white had stones on one side or the other, let's say maybe they had something like this, right? Oops, black's there. When white plays there, black would definitely block on the other side. Okay, but let's take these stones away and just look at it like this. Let's say black blocks on this side and white plays here. Okay, what AlphaGo likes to do a lot is play this move, which we'll see in a minute. But let's look at the standard sequence first. All right, and yet before we do that, we're going to look at this move. Let's say that black has a stone here and white has some stones over here, and white also has stones over here. Okay, so it doesn't help that black makes a taller wall this way because they really can't extend over to this side of the board. If this weren't here, they could jump way out here, but notice white's already got some stones there, and black just wants to try to make a base here and with their stones, make 2 eyes, make a base for 2 eyes, and not get into a situation where they have to run away. So in this case, what black would do is they usually come back here and take the corner. They might do something like this. They might hit at the head of 2 stones here first, here, and then white goes there. If white doesn't play that move, black comes back here and is going to easily kill these white stones in the corner. And then you have to ask yourself, well, why did white even invade the corner if they're not going to defend the corner after they get in there? So it would be like this. And then I would play this move. I'm not sure that's a book. You can look it up in a Joseki book, but I like it a lot. This, and then this move. And the reason I like this move a lot is because it gives black an extra push here. Tari, connect, and then black is going to use the Aji of that Atari'd stone to say Atari, counter Atari. White captures, and then black has a cutting point here they have to protect. They can do a solid connection, but this one works out really well too because it helps to make 2 eyes. down there. And then black can pretty much be assured that they can make two eyes down here. This move, or this move will probably be me eye for black. They can make two eyes one way or another. White comes up here, black just gives up that stone, says that's fine. Because notice that white did that, but they made two moves, right? So now black got sente back. So black's fine with that. And black would play this move here to take half of the corner or part of the corner back, only when white was already out here and already out here on both sides. All right, get these guys out of the way. We're going to go back here, the 4-4 stone. Let's look at the standard sequence here. Black plays this, white plays this. Black pushes white down. Once again, white has to respond, because if they let black get to here, then you can say goodbye to the corner for white, and black's going to grab it back. Black plays here. White plays there. They're crawling on the second line. White is. Black plays out again, and white plays here. And then black has to come back and play out one more. If they don't, what happens? Well, bad things. White Ataris, and notice that black cannot capture these stones on the ladder, because when white comes out of there, now black's in Atari, and they come this way, and then white gets to turn and counterattack. So black has to come out here one more, or either do a solid connection, a loose connection, tiger's mouth connection, or do what's called the mouse connection, and I'll show you what the mouse connection looks like here. This is the mouse connection all by itself. Notice these are the two little cute eyes in the mouth and a little button nose, okay? But what it does is it protects this cutting point with a ladder. You have to make sure the ladder works, right? So in this case, black can play that, because if white plays here, black can't push this way because it'll push white out into Atari for black. So black plays here, and then when white goes here, black go there, and black gets to ladder these stones, into the side of the board here. But once again, notice that, if white has stones here, then this is not the way to protect the cutting point, because this ladder won't work, and then you probably just need to do a tiger's mouth. But this has a little bit more push out into this area. But you got to ask yourself, why is black doing that? That's a defensive move to protect the cutting point, when they can come out here again and have a lot more push into this side of the board. And now if white cuts here, black can simply capture these stones in a net, can't they? Right? Black or white, black, white, black. Notice if white comes out again, though, that then this net doesn't work, because white gets to play Atari. So if white comes out here again, now black does have, a point that they need to come back and protect somehow. Even this will work for them. Or they might extend that again. This is kind of crawling a little too much for white. They usually don't do that. AlphaGo leaves it here. It's white move, and as white, AlphaGo likes to play something else. They like to play this. They don't like this sequence for black too much, because after this move, white can peep at the cutting point, and when black connects, they can come back to here, and they'll have a shape that they either make life with on the side or run out into the center real quickly. And notice the black stones. They're not without these white stones here, this is a wall that projects potential to make big territory here. But with these three white stones here, that's not the case. All right, these white stones nullify the potential of this black string, is what it is. It's not even a wall now, because it has no potential. It's just a string of stones between two white groups. And white's going, yay, this is a victory for white. White stole black's corner, and they nullified the potential of black's wall. So white usually plays this, and then as AlphaGo plays that, and then black's going to come back and maybe play something like that, just to make some territory and put some pressure on this stone. But the standard sequence is white here. This is historically black there, white here, and then black has a cutting point that they need to protect there. They usually don't do it with a solid connection, and here's why. Because at the end of the game, white tries to get out, black Ataris, white connects, but now black owes another move here, right? They have to play a solid connection or a tiger's mouth, maybe a tiger's mouth that way. But notice if they played this move earlier on in the game, that then when white played here and black Atari and white connected, they have sente. Black can play anywhere they want, because these are cutting points are connected. These cutting points are connected with tiger's mouth. But once again, at this point, white usually doesn't play out here because they don't want to give black more influence over here. Plus, they want to save this as a potential co-threat, or maybe even this move. You know, maybe that and then this move allows white to get some kind of counterattack going. So they don't want to eliminate those possibilities yet in order to just get a little bit more space in the territory in the corner, and especially because it then it eliminates any possibility that white does anything down here, and it gives black more potential down this way to have more influence down this side of the board. So as AlphaGo, white leaves it like this. Okay. If at some point in the game black comes back and turns here, now white definitely needs to come out on this side. Black blocks. But now instead of playing this move, it's better for white to play here to make sure they end up with two eyes. Yes, it does allow black to Atari here, and then white has to fill in some of their own space, and then black comes back here. But it guarantees life in the corner for white. And this is something you should get out and play with your own stones. Just say, like, let me look at this, and what happens if white does this right away? You know, and you know, what's black's follow-up here? You know, maybe they can come around here, maybe here. So this is something you should get your stones out and play around with. You should always get your stones out and play around with these. These should be sequences that you know by heart, so that you don't have to spend time and energy during a game trying to figure them out. Plus, you want to be able to have these as kind of templates in your own mind that you can drop down over the board and say, how do I want to finish this out? Do I want to block this side for black or block this side for black? Do I want to let white have the corner, or do I want to take it back? Let's look at that scenario, or that sequence of that Joseki here for a minute. Black's here, white's here. Let's say that white has some stones here, and they have some stones over here also. Okay, making a wall on either side isn't going to help black, is it? Because it's already turned into a string by these stones or by these stones. So then what black usually does is they say, okay, well, let me take the corner back then. And this is the sequence here. It's here, and then black hanes, and this is called the double hane. So that's the first hane. White plays here, and then black comes in and plays the second hane. All right. White then Ataris here. We'll see another variation in a minute. Black connects here, and white Ataris this stone. Black then uses Aji of this dead stone, really, to counter Atari. White connects, and then black plays back here to Atari these two stones, and they retake the corner. If white comes out, black must block from this side. And if white tries to get out this way, they block here. And if white tries to get out this way, then they can, oops, white would like that. Then they can Atari, and if white Ataris, then black picks up. Okay, but black gets the corner back, and they live. All right, so, but what white does, whoa, calm down. All right, what white does is they say, okay, extending out here doesn't work, so I'm not going to do that. And they save all those moves for co-threats. So this is not a Joseki that black should take on lightly, because look at, they leave white 4 co-threats. Here's the first one. White has to protect the corner. If they let white turn here, this group will have 4 liberties. This group will have 2. They will capture that, and then this black string will be stuck between these 2 white groups, right? Probably not going to live. So when white comes out here, that's the first co-threat. Well, black has to play this. White retakes the co. Black finds a co-threat. White defends against that co-threat. Black gets to retake the co, but now white comes out here. There's the second co-threat. Black blocks here. Okay, same kind of sequence. Black just took the co. White plays here. There's the third one. Black plays Atari. Okay. White retakes the co. Black finds a co-threat. White defends against that. Black retakes the co. And now white has one more co-threat in their bag of tricks before they let black capture those stones. So once again, that's 1, 2, 3, 4 co-threats that white has when black plays this double Hane and retake the corner Joseki. So sometimes it's what you absolutely have to do, but know that there's 4 big ko-threats for white left over. Okay, black can also use this this double Joseki to actually finish off the regular Joseki, kind of the standard Joseki, in Sente, and get actually a bigger wall out of it, a taller wall. So white there, black plays Atari, white connects, and now black plays one more Atari. And yeah, okay, well, white connects. So what did black get? Well, if white doesn't connect, all right, then when black takes, they can Atari here, or they can just fill, and none of these white stones are going anywhere. They're all going to have big problems. In fact, I'm not sure white can even save the corner. But black could also go here and start a big co-fight there. White takes there. Now black comes back and gets the corner, right? So black gets this wall, and they get the corner. And white still got this stone in the way. They're still struggling to get out. So when black plays this Atari, let's get this. Oops. When black plays this Atari, white connects, and then it's black has Sente, and they usually come back and play something here. Now they got this 4-stone wall. If they get this in, it's a 5-stone wall. If white now Ataris, black will counter Atari, and white will come up. So this usually doesn't happen right away, because notice white loses Sente here. Black gets Sente back, and they have an even taller wall. Yeah, white gets some territory over here. It's something they might have to do. I don't know. All things depend on the surrounding situation, right? But it's not something that black fears that, oh my goodness, white's going to, Atari this stone and capture it. Oh goodness, that's something to really fear. No, black doesn't. Black says, you can have the corner, white, you can get out. I'm getting an even taller wall. All right. What am I doing? If black plays the double Joseki, the double Hane rather. Here's the first Hane. Here's the second Hane. And white says, you know what? I don't want to get out this side. I want to get out this side. Here, here. And then white plays this kind of strange move. It's a crosscut. And you look at it and you say, well, that's stupid. Black's just going to play this. Well, now white has a double Atari, don't they? So black comes out. White can get in another Atari here. And if black comes out, or whatever, or capture, either one, white comes back, captures this stone. They stole half the corner, and also they got out. So that's not too bad for white. Plus, black ends in Gote, because black has to come back here and protect that corner territory. Usually they do. Otherwise, it allows white to come in with Sente and grab most of the corner, almost all of the corner, and they would grab all the corner, almost all the corner, and get out. So white would go like, wow, this was great. This was just perfect. So when black, I have to go back to the beginning. Here, never hurt to go back to the beginning and play it through again. Here, first Hane, and now the second Hane. And white says, I don't want to get out this side. I'm not playing this or this. I'm going to play this. White doesn't want to do this first, to try to get out this side. That helps black. White wants to leave that, play here, here. White crosscuts. And then what happens is black plays this move, because they don't like white getting the corner and getting out. And then white says, okay, well, I'll get out this side then. Atari, black uses the Aji of that stone, counters Ataris, counter Ataris, white captures, and then black extends out here and grabs the corner back. So that is the white saying, I want to get out this other side. So that's not all of the Josekis, obviously, and it depends on, as always, it depends on what else is around as to what Joseki you kind of choose. Black can choose to say, I really need the corner, or black can choose to say, I want to have a wall, and it depends on what other stones are around on both sides of the corner. In next lessons, future lessons, we will look at what happens when when white does a kakari or an approach move at the corner, here, here, or here, or sometimes they even attach right there and start a fight. And also we'll look at the 3-3 invasion when black has a stone here, here, or out to here. We'll look at what happens when, what happens when white goes into the corner right there, the 3-3 point. Anyway, that is lesson J for Joseki 4.4.1, the 3-3 invasion of the 4-4 point when there are no other stones around for black or white. There's just a black stone at the star point, and white invades the 3-3 point. I highly recommend you get out your stones and go through these sequences. Many games are decided on a successful invasion or prevention of an invasion of a 4 stone at the 3-3 point. And so a lot of games can be won or lost by knowing this or not knowing it. And this should be kind of something that's just automatic for you. You should get your stones out, run through these sequences, and make sure you know them pretty well. Anyway, once again, thanks for watching the World Go channel. I'm your host, James Story, and we'll see you next time.